Reggae interviews. Word sound power.
This is DJ 745 for Reggae Interviews. We are here in the Kuya store in Kingston, Jamaica, located at 96 Hope Road. Kingston is the heartbeat of dancehall culture, and today we're sitting down with one of the genre's most influential and uncompromising voices. From shaping hardcore dancehall in the late 80s and 90s to delivering timeless classics like The Stopper, Limb by Limb and Retreat, this artist helped define an era. A true dancehall pioneer and a lyrical force, he commands respect across all four corners. It's an honor to welcome the original butcher, Cutty Ranks, to Reggae Interviews. How are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, well, a pleasure.
Good to see you once again.
It's all mine, you know.
It's
nice way, you know, back by the forefront.
Of course.
The forefront of the thing, you understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
We first linked up almost 25 years ago for the first time in Kingston, and it's good that you are still here, you're still very relevant in the space, in the music industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you have to stay current, you know, because one of the things you have to just learn to swim with the tide.
Okay.
Because if you not swim with the tide, them left you out in the cold. And I ask if some of us not good at that. So, yeah, I understand. So, I'm still here. I'm still active, you know. I'm active for quite a while.
Four decades? Almost four decades?
Yes, well, Carly say I'm almost in this business 50 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so, you know, but I'm always active under the quiet, but just at the same time studying the different part of the music and the different artists that must spring up after me, you know, in terms of, you know, the new generation of artists them. And that is the reason why I say you have to swim with the tide, because you have to learn to move with the flow. You understand? And I did tell someone, a couple of people, that the music, especially dancehall, I go come back right where the 90s genre of dancehall
originate.
Because I travel the Latin market on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, I'm a household name at least in a Panama City.
True.
Costa Rica show me a lot of love. Colombia, you know, Medellin. So I've been around in the Latin circle, also through the US, you know, through America. And what I see, the Puerto Ricans and also the Dominicans, like DR, you know, DR, them show me a lot of love. Big up DR, you see me? And big up the ambassador anyway she there. You see me, Angie? Yeah, because them show me a lot of love in that region, you know. You know, you have some great producers in there too, but, you know, I'm not gonna say more. I'm just gonna left it right there. So when it comes on to the Spanish market, the only other thing I probably would have mentioned is 90s dancehall always are playing at the Spanish market, and we as Jamaican leave it alone and allow other people to put a tongue on it. And I call it reggaeton. And reggaeton is 90s dancehall, no matter how them shape it or no matter how them slice it and dice it.
I hear what you're saying.
It's 90s dancehall.
True.
You see? That no means I don't give the Spanish or the Latin producers or Latin artists some credits. And the reason, because by them using our stuff, it widen
the reach.
The music to a taller reach, you know. And that is great, because that them benefit and we gonna benefit from it too.
True.
At the end of the day. Even Sean Paul benefit off it right now. You see? You know, Sean Paul and my brethren, and we know Sean Paul them learn from us.
Yes.
You know, the same style we might use, it come from us.
Yeah.
You know. You know, and he make use of it, very determined youth. So me give him props to that.
Yes.
You see?
Yep.
I know many artists take interview and give other artists any props. Because some of them just a cloud chaser, you know. They might chase the cloud.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, look, we have to big up Garrison Entertainment.
Yeah.
They have been coordinating this reasoning that was been very, very long overdue. And here in 2026, we're celebrating 4 decades since your first professional release. But I'm really excited about this brand new album. It's a special moment when Cutty Ranks drops a new album, Blacklist, a 15-track album.
Yes. Well, I would have said 16 because the interlude on the album have a beat underneath it, so that bring it up to 16. It's really 15 track, but the interlude with a Marcus Garvey speech, Ibrahim Chare's speech, I give a speech on it because we have to call it for what it is.
Yes.
You know, in terms of what is going on our planet right now as you speak.
After 4 decades in the business, what inspired you to release Blacklist at this point in your career?
I always love music naturally. It is not about the money.
Sure.
It is about the competition and to be competitive within the business and just to prove a point, to show that people like me not fade easily. You see, because I guess God bless me with such a talent where right now my brain is functioning properly at full capacity when it comes on to creativity. You see me? And also the things what is happening around the world right now on a global scale. Some good things is happening in a certain places and some bad things is happening all over the places. You understand? On a global level. You understand? So everybody get them own share of suppression. So why I say this suppression is not limited at no one doorstep anymore.
True.
It's at everybody doorstep. Including the US, including Europe, Japan, you know, the Middle East, Africa, for instance, you know. I would have said a shout out to Ibrahim Chare. I think one of the greatest leaders ever spring up in Africa who really care about his people. And it exposes other leaders when not care about them people, them only care about them own personal gain and political ambition, even in Jamaica here, and a lot of people probably not gonna like that part of what I say, but you have to call it for what it is.
What it is.
You see, some of them people are greed know no bounds. You understand? And selling out our rivers and seas and all of the best land them in our country owned by outside forces and other people, but yet still the people in Jamaica still suffer under the yoke of down pressure, or some of them call it oppression. But me don't think nobody press nobody up, you know. I think I press them, I press me down. You understand? And them continue to have them foot in our neck, you see? And scary tactics. Because the only way I see some of these people, the way them are governed with fear, by putting fear in a people. And the only way them can put fear in anyone is the gun. That is what them use. Guns and bombs and grenade and other things, probably all germ warfare or mess around with the air where you breathe. So them nobody think we not aware of that. I aware of it. I maybe not gonna call names because me no good for the name calling. You know, but who the cap fit wear it.
Wear it.
You understand? Because it is what it is. And it's not limited to Jamaica. As I tell you before, the problem lie at everybody's doorstep. There's no one race, no exempt. Because even if all right, let us move from Jamaica to the USA. Most of the American people been lied to all through their life. And that just lately now them start to see the lies for what it is. You understand what I'm saying to you?
I do.
I write songs now based up off of that. And plus what I know from before.
Cool.
Because I find out from a long time about it, but finding out and come and say something, you probably are going to run into too many opposition, so you wait until it exposes it oneself, and then you can
speak.
Say it, because what I'm saying is not anything under the carpet anymore. Because remember, you know, mainstream media used to be the talk of the town, and it easy to control the narrative and mainstream media. But now that social media is in play, the World Wide Web.
Very powerful.
When you was growing up, when them say get caught in a web, the spider control the web.
Right.
The insect is the one who like the flies, the mosquitoes, and all of the insects. So who you think is the spider now? The person who study the spider and go and create his own a web, or their own a web to catch us. We are the insects, and everybody get caught in it. Social media is so powerful right now. That's even the person who created it get caught in his own creation.
True.
That is the reason why now they want to control the narrative, so they will lie or just
manipulate
misinformation, for instance.
Yes.
Oh, he's sending misinformation. Oh, I don't like that song. I think it is sending misinformation. Yeah, son? So that is how them work now. But no matter what them say, it cannot be contained.
True. Some of the things that you've just spoken about, it all resonates with one of the lead singles from this new album, the single that was called Chaos.
Yes.
Your delivery was very militant, and you know, we knew that as soon as the single Chaos released, we knew that something was bubbling, there was a bigger project.
Yes.
And you had a really big video as well that was put together by Game Face Entertainment.
Yes.
And here you are talking directly to the leaders and the powers to be.
Because even as you mentioned, chaos. What is happening now in our surroundings? It's all chaos.
Exactly.
Right now, you have war brew in the Middle East right now. Them just kill Gaddafi's son after them kill him father 14 years ago in Libya. You have Ibrahim Traore rise, take back all our resources and bring true help, real help to his people, and then hate him for that. You have a lot of other black leaders who are willing to be a turncoat, sell out them own. And it's not just in Africa, them they in the Caribbean too. You see? I mean, I have to call names. But the same thing are going on around here. where people only are enrich themselves and don't care about. Them willing to sell out them people for riches.
For riches.
And to live lavish lifestyle and keep them foot in our neck. And how them get to do that? Them use the military, which is the defense force, and the constabulary in order to keep the people in check. Them always talk about Jamaica have a lot of crime. You don't want to start about the creation of crime. You see, because Jamaica don't have the sophistication or the knowledge to make a AR-15 or a M16 or a Glock 40 or any other else weapon minus a one pop. Jamaican probably can make a one pop, but one pop can't do nothing in this world against them a firepower where them money I work with. So, but yet still, if I sing about what I just said to you and call it for what it is in a different way, or I terms it, them say, oh, it sounds violent. I think he's a violent artist. Yeah, you're right. I ain't no violent artist. I'm just telling what I know. I'm just calling it for what it is. We know about Belgium and the Congo crisis. I don't have to go into detail.
True.
We know about Patrice Lumumba, we know about Kwame Nkrumah, we know about even Gaddafi and his son, we know about many other things. Even Bob Marley himself. We know about all of the things what happened to Marcus Garvey and some of our great leaders like Kwame Nkrumah. Any leader will spring up and decide to oppose oppression or down-oppression, which I more on terms it down-oppression. But some people call it oppression. Call it for what it is. Or call it whatever they want to call it. With all of what have been said right now, the song Chaos I come from those kind of stuff what I just said to you, because we've been robbed. Them steal our resources and them take it and build themselves and leave us to rot. It's just like what is happening to France now in this day and age. France sinner come back and bite them. And I'm not talking about the French people. We love the French people them. I'm just talking about the powers that be. Them sins are come back and bite them, or whosoever was before them, and the one before them, and the one before them. What was doing all these deeds, it a come back and haunt them, because you are drain out our resources and use it to power your country and get light and electricity, but yet still the place where you get it from is in darkness. So you don't think in the future or somewhere along the line the people them now go find out the truth. And then them are go just eat you or push you out of them place. And you don't like to get shoved out because you want to come and rob and steal. You know how unfair that look. These people think other people in the world stupid. No one around here is stupid. It's like I'm at home at my house cooking my rice and peas and my brown stew fish. And you, I don't know you from anywhere, and you just walk in come in my yard, step in my kitchen and say, Cutty, hand it over. And you don't expect me if you say anything, hand it over. Make sure you give me the rice and beans, more and the fish, and don't say nothing. Stay silent. And me have to hand over my rice and peas and my fish to you, and while you go and share it with your friends and eat, I'm hungry. That can push a man to violence. Tell me if it ain't so.
No, true.
You see? chaos is really about reparation. What owed to us for what have been done to us. At least pay back some compensation, you know, to the people. That is the reason why you're here. Instead of these people pay us or pay some reparation, that can help even curb crime. Because once people have money and them comfortable, them now go and put them money at risk. You see?
True.
Most men now want to lose them money. So they don't want to put that at risk. So instead of them pay us, them rather to create chaos.
Exactly.
And that's how the guns them come in. Them flood out your place with guns and divide your kids and mess around with their mental capacity and their mindset and turn them into what them make them becomes what them is, and then them turn around now want to make it look like they don't have anything to do with it. That is the ultimate deception and lies. You see? So if you notice the sound, so for all the wrong them done to us, them should appear us. Instead of appear us, them still create chaos. We send them to the top and then them turn around and betray us. Who you send to the top? The politicians weave what them in. You send them to the top and then them turn around and betray us. Then in the street, them send them goons to come and slay us. Who is them goons? Read between the line and listen to the lyrical content. As me leave the spot, me hear another friend drop. If them not killed by them, when them get shot by the cops, it make me start to wonder when them thing ya go stop by a blink off and now you get take off of the map. Can't leave yourself careless, you have a fully strap. Go no photo road more than food in a shop. If you don't watch your surroundings, brains dropping on your lap. Ramp with the system and you get your neck pop. When you see snakes in the room, you better have your tall broom. Because the powers that be is pure killers, them a groom. Send your friend to the grave and then them fix you up a tomb. Them in them fortress and I go on like them immune. For all the wrong them done to us, them should appear us.
Very, very powerful. A bit like there was another single that came out late in 2025, Blood Red. We see this very like conscious side of Cutty Ranks, talking about the slave masters,
yes,
and the social and political issues
so
that you've already touched on.
You see where I go.
Exactly.
You know, but sometimes I wonder if some of the other people them really catch on to the message, because them are going to look on it and say, because we say blood have to run red, slave masters are going to lose their head. Everybody else say, oh, Cutty is so violent. Oh, we talk about blood for run and people lose them head. And then them come with all kind of other distraction from the message. You see? That is one of the reasons why I named the album Blacklist. Because they don't like to blacklist me, you know.
well, this is what you see. Look, by having this conversation today, we try and sort of break down some of the tracks on the album and make sure that everyone actually understands and not take the title, for example, Blood Red, at face value. So this is why it's so important for you to connect with your fans and give the real deep story.
I make this song especially for the Africans.
Okay.
The good ones them and the one them want to sell out them one another, you know. Because black people biggest problem is black people. Whether we want like it or not, I'm gonna call it for what it is. I'm not saying all black people is bad. Just like I wouldn't say all white people is bad either. You have a lot of mix in the bunch, you know. Everybody have them own demons to fight, and everybody have them own sins to answer for. You understand what I said to you? So, Blood Red, what I say? Blood a go run red. Slave masters a lose them head. Them can't hide under no bed. It a go run raid, 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 raid. You can't make no slave master fled. Upduck them instead. Wanna hear me? I was like, African leaders, careful when you sign. Keep on a gold mine. Don't trust the outside forces with them tactics. Don't get left behind. You can't pick out every feather, half of them chicken, and put them back on the ground. Them still a pick up the crumbs and say it finger licking and along out them tongue. When I to that part where me just say, when you pick out, you can get a live chicken. Live chicken, don't kill him, don't cut him head off, keep him alive. But defeather him, take off every ear off of him until him start bleed. Because when your blood go come out of him, and after all of that pain when him feel when you pick him and pick out them feathers, put him back on the ground, and then you just get some corn or some chicken feed or some bread or crumbs and break it up and chew it out there and just stand up like this and watch him. He's still eating. And that is how some of us is acting. You see where I go with it?
Yep.
So them better look through the message and say, you can pick out every feather, half of them chicken, and put them back on the ground. Them still a pick up the crumbs and say it finger licking and along out them tongue. Ask the leaders about the rights of them people and you no see where them turn. Ask another question how the guns them come here and the whole of them dumb. Blood of you run raid, 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 raid. Slave masters a lose them head. Them can't hide under no bed. It a fi run raid, 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 raid. Unite, make the unity spread. Slave master dead, you are go dead. Yeah, son?
Very, very powerful.
So when we say what about innocent until proven guilty? Them justice system filthy. One law for the poor, the next one for the wealthy. The system not healthy. You know how much people picnic them have locked up in a prison. Watching numbers them risen. Not to mention the people them a road where are missing. Politicians are listen. Then the third verse, the genocide on Black Wall Street, we know that is a crime. It's just a matter of time for all of our people get on the front line. We need to free up our mind. We don't care about police or no National Guard. No more we don't want them to take over our yard. We don't already know them system is a fraud. Them a treat black people like dog. Then you go back to the chorus. Which is true.
Yep.
Everything I'm saying is the truth. So who don't like the truth can fight against me and do what them want to do. But me not go change from what I am. And I'm gonna say it like it is. I probably don't go too direct by calling names or say it's this man or that man, but all who know them guilty or something probably shaking at them boots, but them know say if them come out and say anything, then it go look, them just go confirm it and it go look like them guilty. So them go stay silent, they not say nothing. And the best way that, you know, because them say silence is a very powerful weapon. You see, so a man go stay silent and him no you know, expose himself. But him have to do what him have to do. And me I do what me I do. I'm not calling anybody's name. Who the cap fit wear it.
Right. The thing that I really love today is that listening to you today, there is nobody that can imitate Cutty Ranks' voice. Nobody sounds like Cutty Ranks in the industry. What is it that's made your tone, your delivery so special?
Because I take care of my voice. I know exactly what it takes to keep it clean, you know.
Okay.
You know, my only bad habit, I smoke, like cigarette or something like that, but everybody have a bad habit. At least me not take drugs or smoke coke or sniff anything.
Okay.
Everything is coming from where I come from is natural.
Natural.
You understand?
So there's quite a few things that you're doing from your own self-well-being in order to maintain your voice.
Yes.
Okay.
You see, and well, these days I'm not getting a lot of sleep, and because of the work, because now we have to work overtime in order to survive. You understand? Because the same system and the same people who call themselves the powers that be, instead of them make it more easier for us with all the work what we put in for how much decades, it still feel like we are start over again in order to maintain. You see, so it's like you don't get no thanks for what you do. You know? The only reason why I'm staying at this business and probably retire and leave it alone is probably 3-4 things. I love the fans them.
Yep.
And I think I'm here for a purpose. I mean, I think I'm fully fulfilled that purpose 100% yet. And thirdly, I like the competition. I would love to be competitive. And just know, say, I'm a force to be reckoned with. Don't feel like you can't run up on me or creep up or camouflage yourself, because that's not gonna happen. You understand? Anytime I go retire, I retire gracefully and decide to I go leave it alone. You see? And it keep me active. You understand? So I love send the message, you know. So that is one of the reasons why I still do this. To be honest, sometimes I feel like just give it up because of you have a lot of gatekeepers and all kind of dirty elements within the industry. See I laugh with you. Act like everything is everything when them know say everything no alright and them no straight, you know. Big up Garrison, you know.
Yep. This new album, Blacklist, it's got so many big songs on it. Zero Tolerance, Who Next, If You Have Love. And as an elder, how do you navigate the digital side of music? How do you manage things like social media? Because that's a big thing in itself as well.
The digital world is not my world because I come up in the more analog side of things. But
you have a team?
I still have to do what I have to do. I learn from some of my people like management, Garrison, you know, Richie, so Mr. Kerr, you understand? So Garrison record is not just our Mr. Richard Kerr where I own up for the label, right? And my personal label is Tropicos Music Inc. And that is what the album is coming out on. But let us speak of Garrison. Garrison and Mr. Kerr on the management side of things. It's not just business. It's not just business and management. It's friendship. Bridging, you know. You understand? Like a brother.
Okay.
Like a blood brother, you understand? Him know what me talk about, we go through a lot of things we go through, and him stand up for you and I. And him never jump ship. You understand what me say? And we don't like ship jumper. I mean no ship jumper either. You see? So me I one of the type where I not go betray people or betray a friend. It's not in my DNA. Anything me have to tell you, me just tell you straight. And if you don't like it, and you want part company, we part company. And we can part company on a peaceful level and we still interact with each other. And if it get back together as bridging and bridging, because sometimes people can go out there too and still learn and see or dissect certain things and know say you did right. Or you know say that person they right. Anyone out a board party can see the right way in it. And that can bring back the love and the respect, you know. And the manners and the respect. You understand? So that is it in a that sense. But sometimes you say if you want to know your true friend them, just find yourself in any problem, some serious problem, and see who stand up with you and don't jump ship and try to take with them body and get out of there.
True.
Yes, so that is that.
That's it.
But Tropic Host now, Music Inc., I'm building that label. My personal label. And the Blacklist album is a very good album. We have people like Marcia Griffiths on it.
I was just going to say, you've got one of your old-time collaborators.
Yeah, because me and her make at least 3 #1 songs.
Yes.
So we make multiple hits, you know.
It's, yeah. So,
you see?
Queen Martin.
Me only sorry say we don't have somebody like Berris on it.
Okay.
You know, at the moment, but the chairman of the board, but Berris, you can't catch up on him so easy. The man, they slipper like a nipple. I have to go climb too much mountain to find him. One bag of mountain, a hill and valley, you have to go over. If you go find that, they're hungry.
But the song that you have with the Queen, Marcia Griffiths, back in those days, reminisces about days gone by and yesterday.
Yes, and from the days of tube amplifier.
Yes.
You know, from the days of tube amplifier and then steel on in a tree, and them time they didn't have one computer that even close to even come yet. Digital system was far way back, you know. Nobody don't know nothing about no digital them time there, and even a computer amplifier. It's just tube amps.
Yes.
You see? That is one of the things when I respect with the German, because I went to Germany and go at this radio station and I was walking through the passage, and you have all of these different sections in there where them have like arms, all kind of musical instrument, and I see tube amplifier in there too.
Wow.
So the German them preserve the thing, but we at Jamaica we don't preserve nothing. You must be lucky if you find a tube amplifier anywhere in this country. Them just left it, and you know what? If a person, any person who have tube amplifier, can make a lot of money out of that right now. Just say you shoot a music video with the songs like even the same song with me and Marcia Griffiths, are songs where I talk about the music from where it started and where it come from, and use some tube amplifier in it with some sound box. You know how good that video that look?
Of course.
Eh? So you could have them thing there and rent them out, but them not smart. You see? Them nearsighted, man. You see?
Some of the things that you talk about, you came up in that era when dancehall was raw, competitive, and sound system driven.
Yep.
How did that environment you grew up in shape you as an artist and performer?
Yeah, but well, those days really shaped me into what I am, and that is the reason why I'm so good at what I am now, at my age. You understand? So, look at it this way. When we are DJ upon sound system, when I just started, me I lift box, me I roll up wire, me I do all kind of hard work. You can see some of the cars, them still left.
Wow.
See at least 3 of them, the rest of them fade. You understand? So I pay my dues in this business. You see, but me I lift box, roll up wire, sing, and me start off and mostly like the one drops to the one kind of beat, because most of the big artists them were for them name bigger than my one them time. You know, I'm just a rookie. I come up in the business. The man they make me stand up and hold the mic for me until when them finish done perform and DJ. then them just left the mic, give me now for go and sing for the studio and rhythms or the hen part I dance. And I say, okay. I go and work until till me get so good and them one drop beat. Me start give them a lot of problem over time because me start get better than them. You understand? So that was that. And
what age were you then when you first took the mic on a sound system?
Anywhere from 9 to 10 years old.
Wow.
From there, so.
And one of the early sounds that I think that you were involved with was Rebel Tone.
Yes, Rebel Tone and Feather Tone. Feather Tone was owned by Egyptian father.
Right. Okay.
The artist was named Egyptian.
Okay.
Him grew up and watch me. I work. So even him learn a lot from me. Plus, where him learn from the music itself because. It was a musical family. So I grew up in that kind of circle. Yeah, so, yeah.
You must have had a lot of confidence to be holding a mic at that age of 9 or 10.
Yeah, but the first time I go on a real big event, it was, Tasties. Tasties, they used to keep talent shows. And when I was bidding for it, I request to go on it until me finally get my chance. When I go up
Tell us what happened.
When I go up on that, I see about 15,000 people in front of me and then all of a sudden me pan. Stage fright.
Stage fright.
I don't know, holy mic and the mic I go so and me I bring back the people them start laugh. It was an embarrassing thing for me. That's the only time I ever embarrassed in a music business where the mic can move away from me and another body pull it from me and me have to bring back. I need them shaking around there. I was so
ashamed. What did that teach you? What did that experience teach you?
I was so ashamed with that night, that evening, that a matter of fact. That's when I leave, me so ashamed. Me say, I will never let this happen to me again.
Okay.
And me say, right now, me have to go fully train myself in order to deal with an event like that. If my manager Richie was around then time, I see you me and shake, him drop a grammar and that him close. I couldn't get free of that mic. And me talk about me have a bomb and me have bad people around and the mic get me scared. And the audience,
You also had to spend a little bit of time on Gemini sound as well, right?
You also lift Gemini sound box and roll up wire and try to get the mic here and there. And that was a serious experience. And one night I perform, none of the big artists no turn up at this party, and I get the chance to have the whole night for myself. And at first, the people fling a portion of gravel off of me. I say, put on the mic, you artist. And then I just go buy 2 Red Label wine. Them time Red Label was strong and right. I'm young, I'm beat up 2 Red Label wine, and then light a big spliff. One of them ganja spliff there. You see, when I go back inside there, I start the same people who fling the gravel off of me, and them beat out, I make them beat out every window out of that schoolroom.
Wow.
Ram that place and the place pack. Rock that crowd straight up till about 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
From 10 o'clock in the night till 5 in the morning. Rock up that place there because in them days you never used to have too many DJ singer play and sound system. Yes. They play like the singers and then they turn over the record for the version, the instrumental, and they just sing on it. People love it. Them time the party was nice, man. You understand? Nice. Even the food where you buy in a them party there. Proper food. It make everybody want to come back. As a matter of fact, most tourists or foreigners gravitate to Jamaica through music.
Yes.
Even tourism benefit off of our music or other people's music. The outdoor music, this is what I want to say. Outdoor music was the in thing where make a lot of foreigners, because you never used to have it in England like outdoor or in the United States. And mostly underground club, you know, basements,
yeah,
and all them things. When they say, yeah, rave. When we used to go to East London, well, that's all them place name, something under that lane. I don't remember back in East London there, and you go and dance about 3 o'clock in the morning. And you party till 3 o'clock the next day. You don't know when daylight. Yeah, that's that. And one of the worst beer where they used to have in England, and the only beer they have in England when they eat. I never drink a tin of that. Tenants.
Oh.
The wicked beer that if you drink 2 tin of that, you sleep.
You're gone.
That put you to sleep.
Yep.
Yeah. I tried out that beer once and I never tried it again.
Never try it again.
And the only thing me could have drink, half a tin. And half a tin alone make me eat that beer there, man. That beer the worse than white rum. Knock you out.
Knock you out.
Cool. Yeah, man, tenants. So, as we are saying now, the tube amplifier, and even with Gemini sound system, I lift box and ram up the dance there at the schoolroom, and I used to get like $20 per week to lift the sound box, and I said, okay, like how the artists them not show up on my profile and ram up the dance, full up the place and give the people a good performance. I thought the owner for the sound would have put another, even another $10 or $20 on it. And me pay. Nothing. I wanted to pay. Gemini was one of the wickedest thing, one. They don't do nothing for youths. I use people. But I have nothing good to say about them, man. I'm just gonna say it just like it is. And I remember it like it was yesterday. You understand me? I never treat them worker, I never treat them worker good at all. But I mean, it helped mold me into what I am and make me more powerful. Them say when I kill you, what don't kill you? Only strengthen you. No. Yeah, so comes I used to have to hustle on the side at the meat shop. They say I used to go there and beg meat. Like when the country people them come in with them truck and have food on it, I help them to load it off. I like work for my own. But I never have no meat kind for eat with the food. So I just go in at the meat shop and say, yo, beg a piece of meat. And them give me a piece of meat. I'm a continue start going there on a regular basis. One day the man them stop me in my truck. And I was like, yo, every day you just come in here and beg out the profit. You want a job? I say, yeah. And them give me a job.
Okay, so that's where the nickname the Butcher comes from.
Yeah, that's where me get the name Cutty.
Okay.
You see? So them give me a job in there to clean out all of the fridge them, defrost them and clean them out, and I get so skilled on it that them say me can't leave. You must keep the job, stay there. And when me clean out the fridge them now, me used to get me hustling, you know, on the side. Anything me find in them ice, when me go around the back and break up them ice, anything me find in there belong to me.
To you.
I was scared that I sell that I road. So me I get PA in there and plus me I make a money
extra
on the side. And you used to have some little man out in the street like, you have to go work and get your own and come give to them, and I refuse. Them decide to try intimidation, and the only thing it gained them. You understand?
That's a great story.
Yeah, the only thing is like just gain that, and after a while I do so much of that, that's they've given me the nickname Cutty.
Cutty.
And at first me was so pissed off about the name. I call me Cutty, me not name Cutty, and you know? And the man them, and even my boss start to call me, what happened to you? Cutty your name. Until show me a deal with the music now, I like the music. You used to have this artist named Rankin Trevor.
Yes.
And one of the old school. And before me, I say, hey, you know, so me I got take off the ranks off of that, take the ranks from the Trevor, you know. I had it to the Cutty, and name itself Cutty Ranks. So I really name myself off a Rankin Trevor.
But one of your early singles in '86 for Skengdon, a song called Greedy Girl.
Yeah.
On the actual record, you were actually listed as Cutty Rankin.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah. I used to have Rankin Trevor Rankin. So start that way there until what a Cutty Ranks. Break it down to in at the end. You understand? So it was great days them time there. They say, and we've been through many different sound systems till it end up at Steromar, even Arrows International.
Yes.
Metro Media, we pass through all of them sound there. You understand? Sony Music Merchant, they say me, from up in a Grand Spen, all of them sound there. You understand? Feather Tone, Rebel Tone, Speedy Roots. There's another sound used to DJ up in a Brandon Hill. And Speedy Roots is really Papa Roots.
Okay.
When them sell out the sound, when the sound deserve, and them sell it out to another person, and the person name it Speedy Roots.
Okay.
Yeah. That's me, so that's what's about that part of it. But anything else, I mean, till in the 80s, we start more into the recording side of things and come up and record, about 1985, I think I recorded the song Gunman Lyrics.
Winston Riley.
For Winston Riley. Techniques. You know.
That was a big song.
Yes.
On the Things and Time rhythm.
Yes.
Yes.
You see, and from there it just start build it little by little. Play some songs with Skengdon them and other song here and there. I sang the Fishman Lyrics, same Winston Riley. Outer hand. And that beat where Bury Salmon do the song there, What One Dance Can Do.
Yep.
And I read him there.
Yep.
You understand? You see, so come up through from Randy's, them what becomes VP Records now. So we know of them. You see.
Let's take you back to 56 Slight Road, because some of your very early recordings were done. 56 Slight Road was the location for Penthouse.
And also Shocking Vibes.
Let's talk a little bit about those times, because one of your early singles, The Bomber, let's talk about the story about how that song was voiced and where it was voiced and for who.
Well, the story about The Bomber, and that is the song where really break me up big into the business.
Yes.
Break everything open. You understand? Now, you used to have a lot of tough artists like General Tree in them time there, and him do a song named High Balloon. But before it even reached to this, I used to hang out at Penthouse Gate. I never get on the compo, I used to hang out at the gate and I try get in there, and the security give himself trouble until one day we just decide to rough him and bad him up and get inside here. So we have let in that man and I let me. We have to bring intimidation and go in there. And then eventually The first person who I voice the bomber for is Penthouse.
Okay.
Which is Donna Van Germain, and then Donna Van Germain sit down on the track, sit on it and not putting it out until Patrick Robertson go move on the same compound next door to him over the other studio where he used to control by Gussie Clark. And one day I go over there and hear a bad rhythm where he put out, where I work on. And he asks me if I want to go up on it. When I have can go up on that. And I say, you know, so I have a right tune for that. And him give me the ray and him say me, if go into the studio and record. Him probably do it for the fun of it and think it's a joke.
Okay.
But I just write the song. General, she did have a song named Iron Balloon. And some of the gangsters them in my era in a Rockford come down and have something. And they must say, Cutty, if you don't build something off of this, yeah, Iron Balloon. You know, like macking and mustard, you know. And them a mustard, but in the back of my head, I take it very serious because I don't like to be mocked. So I'm mocking them, I mock me. You know? I'm mock, you know, that. If you know, build a song out of this and bust my music, me Iron Balloon. And I just go back to the drawing board and just write a song off of what them said. I come up with a kill out all the enemies. Live we all a different road, boy. Kill out all the enemies. Live we all a different, and we a bust up the bomber. Have a new gun where them call it the bomber. And then I go back to Penthouse and record the song for Penthouse, and Penthouse sit on it, the one Donna Van Germain. So when we go over Patrick Robertson, I hear the new rhythm. And he send me inside of the voice booth. And I chew up that rhythm like a crackers. Revise it for Patrick, and Patrick never hesitate.
Okay.
Road the next week. And in a them time it was 7-inch. I run the place, and when you record a song for your producer, them have to give you at least 7. 7 of the 7-inch free for yourself. And when them give me my 7-inch, I go in a McGregor Gully and I dance in a McGregor Gully on the east side. I give them one of the 7-inch, and me and some man tell the selector, I say, play that.
Troubles.
So when the man them play that the song, they chub around there. And be a broom them a sweep. You understand? And then when we see that now, we say, yeah, look like that song you won't forget where. Then we do Metro Media was playing every Wednesday night right off South Camp Road. The Metro Media used to play every Wednesday. You know, like Weddy Weddy? Well, round this was like Weddy Weddy every Wednesday night. But when me I talk about Pack, Ramadan Weddy Weddy, it's like this so everybody go. Like how you have a Uptown Mondays with Witty them keep. Yeah. So when we bring the 45 go around there, I must see about 50 of us go in and dance and say, hey, play this. And you know, seeing 50 hungry face Aidas out, I better play. So when the man them play that, in those days, cops and licensed firearm holder could have fire shot up in the air, and it wasn't against the law here. In those days, it was, you have the freedom to do so without get yourself in a whole lot of trouble with the government or any powers that be. It was allowed in them times. So when the song play, in that dance hall, the owner for the lawn and him keep the party every week. He used to have a coconut tree in there with a lot of jelly up in there. And no jelly you couldn't drink out of that. Every one of them have hole in them.
That's how big the song was.
Yeah, and in a long run, him have to end up cut down the coconut tree. He couldn't stay in there with the people and them gone. The people always under the tree and then, you know, you can't fire sky, you know, and shoot away, so they fire up in the air. Like a gun salute. A lot of them things they used to go on at them time there. Even when me a DJ Steromar and them sound, there's a skeng and them sound, big up General Skeng. Yeah, because they are also a part of my
history
in the music coming up. Big up Levi, you understand, and the rest of the affiliates them, you see me? The black family, you know. But when the song play, the two artists them who run the place was Ninja Man and Shabba. Never the in thing. And it's hard to break through them. You know, it's hard to get any breakthrough, to slide through, for them hype and rise. Until one night, Ninja Man come round at the same party where the song play. Because of the playing of the song and so much recognition for the song, make sure them assign me to them sound system. So me start go DJ every Wednesday night or anywhere them a play. I mean, I tell you, listen me good. Ninja Man go left and come round there one night, come try to start some. Say him hear about a man with the bomb on. So me have to end up crush up your sleeve round there. Ninja Man also have, me give him credit to, you know, because Ninja Man was the artist who helped enhance my career to the next level, because by him come there and mess around with me and end up lose the clash that night, it bring my thing to another level, and from there now Pentos hear the song, start pissed off about it and bury some and have to draw up Donovan Jermaine. And I say, you have the youth song, I never want to put it out, you put it in a museum and I dust it off. tell Barry tell Jermaine, say him put my song in a Hope Road museum. And around there, feather does it, and the man go revise the song for somebody else. Because I want the song out the road. So when you there, you complain. What you need to do is ask the youth to voice another song for you. And that's so comes now Jermaine saying, want another song to go with that one there. And we do the song name for me Nozzle. You understand? And we just, from this, so, it just start rise till John Dub Vendor come in at the picture, the stopper. Hit. Everything me touch just turn into gold.
How did you first meet John Dub Vendor? Because
at Pentos.
At Pentos, okay.
That's when John Dub Vendor started. John Dub Vendor in England, and I feel the impact of the bomber. I feel the impact of Pammy Nozzle and everything when me I touch. So John Dub Vendor come in, you know. Yeah man, big up Fashion Records man, because John Dub Vendor and his wife, you know. I send a lot of respect to them because him have one of the best producer I have in the business. Him produce Limb by Limb also and all of them hits, Stopper, and the man they never turn them back on me.
But back then, did you feel that you were almost taking a calculated risk working with overseas producer that was still, you know, making their own little footsteps, because Fashion Records was known more for like the lovers rock back in the 80s.
Yeah, but I could claim a lot of credit and say I'm one of the best artists where Fashion Record ever have in them camp.
Agree.
And I never signed to the label or in them camp, like, but because of the militancy with John Dub Vendor have, you know, I would even say Chris. I would have said more John, because Chris is more like the behind the shadows figure. John are the one with out front.
Yes.
You understand? So John always make me eat food from whatever I do for him.
Okay.
You understand? More than any other producers. And there's a lot of details we can go in about. I'm not gonna even go there. You understand? But John are good people.
People, yes.
You know, and his wife and good people, I always respect them, you know. Yes, I respect the family. Yeah, and them man, they a family. In every shape and form. You understand me? So, when I do the stopper sell gold, and at them time they have to sell at least 500,000 records, forget the gold. Nowadays they sell 50,000 records and they say a gold. Yeah, right. But we know say 500 is gold, 500,000 record is gold.
24 karat gold.
But gold.
Gold.
Right, and platinum, you have to reach the 1 million mark. I don't know how now they matter about if you sell 500,000 records, they will say a platinum. Or probably be 200,000, I don't know. Because everything just break down and bring the music down to the dogs. Because look, them all start cut all the music because I know that a 7-inch record supposed to be 3 minutes and 55 seconds. That is how much I know the music. That is where it was till then cut it down to 3:30, till then cut it down to 3:25, till then go 3:10. You know about them they know? 2.5.
Yep.
So them just cut down the whole thing. It is a shame.
You had other big hits like Retreat for Steely and Clevie around that time as well.
Yeah.
And then there was some really big collabs with Marcia, Half Idiot, Really Together, and then the Love Me Have Forget with Beres as well.
Yeah.
Were those songs voiced together in the studios, or was that something where you went in and added your DJ spice?
Yeah, I think Beres' voice is part first, and then I go there and listen to it and write my part. Slap it away.
Yes.
Same thing with Marcia Griffiths.
Okay.
Them artists, me and them is just did have a special chemistry. The chemistry was right and the energy. And until today, me and Beres them could have that kind of energy. You understand? So, and that was it. You see, and Marcia Griffiths, me and I did have that chemistry there too.
Yes.
And me and I make many hits, just like Beres. I even make a couple of hits with Dennis Brown before him pass. Love Boat, them song there, and Decide Your Mind for Penthouse. And I think one more, I think about 3 songs we do with him. And we do song with Ken Booth, we do song with a lot of different artists.
In that conversation about collabs, we can't leave out the great Cutty.
Yeah, and Cutty, me and him make a couple of hits and even make #1 too. Just call it, say, I was a combination king.
Yes.
You know, me and Barrington Levy with Dancehall Rock. You say that long before even Killer them come with Living Dangerously. With, you know, and the Barrington Levy and next one here, Looking My Love. Them sang there with me and Barrington, it was for Jazz Crew.
Yes.
It is another one where in the business we don't pay people royalty. I never get, suppose I tell you, say, that song go #1, I never get 1 cent from Jazz Crew.
Okay.
Until today. That hombre they owe me a lot of royalty. And they make a lot of deals with them songs. And me are the only one when I get paid. That is how selfish them is. And me just I said this just to make him see this interview and say I'm not playing with him. Enough of them come and I make chat and make it, oh, Cutty was a great man, Cutty this and nobody come butter me up and sweet talking around there. I mean, your girlfriend. I want bag of sweet talk and talking and know. Them know what them I do.
Yes.
Yes, but me just not go in on more details about no other people, but me know. And all of them cooks were in the business. And around there act like them they have no skeleton and them closet and them clean. We have enough dirty shirt in this business. So I'll leave it, we just leave that part there and get to another topic.
Yes. I've got a topic in my mind from 1992, a song that you recorded up at the Grove Studio in Ocharias, Roof International. Courtney Cole, and I think it was Barry O'Hare that engineered that song.
Barry O'Hare was a great engineer.
Yes.
Great engineer.
Yes. What is the song that we're talking about?
Who Said Me Done?
Yes, 6 Million Ways.
6 Million Ways to Die, choose one. Yeah. That song was a monster hit. But you know the funny thing about it, if I give you a history on that song, you'll probably laugh.
Okay.
You know? You'll probably laugh. You know what I said? You remember a song with Tiger? What name? You dead now. And where you take man for? You remember that rhythm there?
I do.
I record that song first on that beat.
Okay.
For Patrick Robertson.
Shocking Vibes.
You know? And when I leave the studio, me as the engineer and a lot of local man inside of the studio laugh me to scar. I'll cut you and go with that. And say a lot of bad things about me and piss me off.
Behind your back?
Behind my back.
Okay.
And somebody in there come back, a friend of mine come back and tell me. And I was going to watch it to do this show for Roof when he run the club near Roof Club down at James Avenue. I go down there. I hear him say him want 2 songs from me. After me do the show, he say he don't like me in the camp. I say, right now, I can't stay in your camp, a penthouse me there. I'm with that camp, but I can voice 2 songs for you. And so come with voice. I don't know if I was already one of them songs there.
Yeah.
I voice 2 songs for you, but I voice the song the weight them on and come up with I so come because them piss me off by underestimate my song. I add something else to it and say there is 6 million ways to die. Choose one. You understand? And then them take it and play around with that intro and add some other little samples around it. I don't know where they get them samples from another laugh somewhere in there, but I don't know. But Barry O'Hare play around with the song, with the voice, and just create miracle. Because of him, the 2 beat them were merged together, which is the first time 2 beats ever merged together from 1 beat play going to another beat, and it's Barry O'Hare that did it.
And that's the Bam Bam?
In Jamaica, and it's a murder she wrote with him, a slide them make. And the other one where them use to merge it with, it still slide them. And so when you slide done by them, you know, the slide them is a pioneer. In our business. And but the greatness with Barry now is come up with the idea to merge wonderful world, beautiful people. I want a Jimmy Cliff songs. That beat, merge that beat with
the Bam Bam.
The Bam Bam rhythm. And that turned the song into, and then the intro playing around with the intro and get it that way, and then playing around with the voice. Oh, Barry O'Hare did it.
Genius.
It's a genius idea. This man just deal with it like a surgeon. You understand? it was a monster hit. That song hit England so hard. I think a 6 week it did up on the top chart. All the Black Echoes. One eye big chart.
I remember.
It shut down.
And that song has been sampled by so many people.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Snoop, Funkmaster Flex, Jay-Z.
All Funkmaster Flex sample and me no get PR now. And him think me no know. So him sample my song. I know. And him never pay me. I never get a penny. You see? But that is another story. You see, but it is what it is. You see? And that song was a monster major hit. And then right after that, we got to voice another song for John.
Limb by Limb.
Oh, so them want to take it personal. Them think me come for done. All we have to do is send for the new gun, anything test dead. We fly off those net. Duck a dill, 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 another boy get killed. Duck a dill, dill, dill. Sign on the will, they want I. We come at them funeral and I do see, them do see. I and I is a general. Hear me limb by limb, we a go cut them down, send for the oxa, take out them tongue. You see? So, that song was another monster hit. I think that song even been sampled more than even Who Say Me Done.
I was just going to say that.
It is the most sampled record I ever have.
Yes.
Up until today.
Yes.
People still using that sample and using that song. It's sample and, you know.
And I think that when John, Dub Vendor of Fashion Records, they decided to make a jungle version of that on the album Rumble in the Jungle, it took that song to new territories, to a completely different market as well.
Jungle. I have a jungle album to come out to name King of the Jungle.
Okay.
With about 14 tracks on that. But I'm not drop it yet.
Okay.
Straight jungle.
Jungle.
You know how long me have that album sit on? Way back, more than 10 years now.
Okay.
But it's going to come out.
It's coming out.
You see? So, it's just a matter of time.
When you were recognizing that songs like 6 Million Ways, Limb by Limb were being appreciated by fans across all genres, you were traveling a lot more internationally. Did it change your approach to recording, or did you keep with the same mentality from the early days?
I always try to keep the same mentality from the early days when it comes on to music in order to keep the thing on an authentic level. I'm not gonna say at times, because of distraction, we're not slow up a little, and things what you've been through in the business gets locked into contract with record company and them slow you down, and major labels slow you up, and them just use you as a tax write-off in the United States. And you know what I'm talking about. And many other things will happen in my life where I just keep it under the quiet and just work my way back out of it. And now in 2026, I think is about the right time now to strike properly. Even although I already strike with another monster hit down in at the end, and it's the biggest monster hit of all. You see, and no one never see me coming with that one. You know, but I guess you will ask, you're going to ask about it anyway, so I'm going to let the cat out of the bag.
I think we're going back to South America right now, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that song then, because we have to. Well, yeah, let's talk about that song because we know that the Latin American market has really embraced you. The song that we're talking and you're referencing is Dame Tu Cosita.
Yeah, Dame Tu Cosita.
Over what, 5.3 billion views. That's another monster recognition.
It's a monster. But Dame Tu Cosita, we still can go back to Who Say Me Done, Limb by Limb, Stopper.
The catalogue is big.
Retreat, Ugly Girl Surrender. Most of them songs them love in the Spanish market, in the Latin world, so them used to even El General used to steal my lyrics in terms of like take the stopper or some other song like Wait Them and a certain some other songs like Retreat and many other songs when me do from in the 90s, them take it and them redo it in a Spanish and I make money off it and I don't know because true me never know the language at the time until I found out about it. And I just decide that you can't beat them, join them.
Which is what you're actually doing on the album. The new album Blacklist has actually a song written in Spanish, Mi Amor.
Yes.
Singer J.
Yeah, and I also have the replacement for Dame Tu Cosita also on it, which is Chica Mala.
Okay.
Yeah. I say, hi mami, me gusta, como estas, trabajando. Mueve tu culo, mujer, mueve tu culo, mujer, mueve tu culo, mujer, mueve tu culo, como un terremoto. Chica mala, vuélvete loca, lentamente, quítate la ropa, mami. Esta noche me toca, haz lo que me provoca, chica mala, vuélvete loca, lentamente, quítate la ropa, mami. Esta noche me toca, haz lo que me provoca, vamos toda la noche, no, mami. Pumíelo en mi cuerpo, no, mami. Conóceme serpiente, no, mami. Me gusta tu posición, mami. Completa la misión, mami. Then I just merge it with a little bit of English, but most of the song is Spanish, you know. Put a little bit of English so you try to control both worlds.
Both worlds.
You understand? So that song is really in English. Bad girl go crazy for me. You know. You see, so I love the Spanish world. And I love the Spanish people them too. I love the Panamanian and the Costa Rican them, the most closest set of people to me. And also DR, Dominican Republic, lovely people. So me have to always big them up because me have them support. And big up Mozart anyway, there, you know. Nice kid. Yeah. You know, so we do what we do. And me and more now really mean my love in English. I write that song and then I bring in Singer J to sing it because Singer J have the perfect voice for a song like that and also the range where him sing at.
Yes.
Because him sing at a very high key. And that was the perfect thing for the track, you know. So when him say me amor usted desta tu hermosa mujer te quiero te necesito, you understand? And then me come here, the girl the shape the way you have it at the bum, you know, you're sexy like that, that's how you turn the way your body look at me if you be your man. Is that no why if you try to understand, you know, me love when your position and you set it so yeah, back it up and cock it up like me ever get it so real general, you know, I'm if you knock you so. Girl assume the position, make me slap you so. Dame escosita, porque tú es mi mamacita. Te ves tan bonita porque tú eres mi favorita. Mi amor, try me la cosa. I just leave it right there so. You see?
I mean, this new album, your fans are in for such a treat because we see so many different moods of Cutty Ranks on this album. We've talked about obviously the big collabs with people like Singer J, but then you also have other big collabs with Lukey D, Better Tomorrow.
Yeah, and we have a young artist on it where I work on film career named Akeem Demio.
That's the song Distance.
Distance.
Right, okay.
You understand? And I have a great voice. You know, I'm a little bit rough around the edges, but still have to give him credit in terms of the voice where him have. Him just have to just serious to do him do and know to use that voice if him really want to get it. And patience is also another thing in the business where some of them young artists I need to learn. You understand? So I just saw the thing go.
Okay.
But otherwise, so I'm that a great artist in terms of a young artist. Him just not get the proper break yet, but me think him can create an impact in our music business if him really focus.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah.
I mean, I think today's reasoning for me shows what it takes to maintain that longevity. When younger artists like Akeem Demio approach you, what's the main advice you as an elder give to them?
I'm gonna try to do my best in order to influence an artist or give them the best advice what I think them should get, but I know all of them willing to take the advice.
Receive it. Okay.
So really and truly, I willing to give the advice, but if them not take the right, if them not willing to take that advice and learn and do the right thing, it's all on them, not me. You understand? But a whole heap of young artists who we rate and we give them props. And you have some of them who don't really push no power either. But at the same time, I still I go give them that respect, because some of them just sound like them distracted. You understand? Some of them sound like them distracted. You see? So I still have to give them that, because at least them do something honest, something clean, you know, in terms of whatever way they might do it in order to get honest bread and eat them food.
True.
You understand what I say? That no means that I go agree with everything what a man say, or everything what a man do, or every way where a man conduct themselves. You understand? Me no yes man for no man. You see me? I mean a two no man line, no one line. So in that sense, to each his own. Them have to do them, and me I do me. You know, but you have some of them where me listen to and like their music, and you have artists in our business where, as young artists, who are my favorite, but musically, but brain-wise, nah. They don't have no brains, because they always have a tendency of getting themselves in some deep trouble. Because they probably not listen and learn them lessons. You see, music and badness, no mix.
Can't mix.
You see? And even if you are going a rude boy thing, if you are going to travel or go anywhere, spend the money and get legal security, or make whosoever invite you somewhere, provide legal security. Are you good? Because if you do something different from that, and this is just my advice, I'm not really business about no man and them business, but make sure you're but careful, have legal advice and legal security around here. And the best way that to go. And that's all I have to say. I stay out of trouble. You see? As I say, music and badness no mix, because you have to go to many different places and you never know what is in those places. Just put it that way there.
Yes.
You never know what is in those places. So you have to just know exactly what you're doing.
Yes.
You see? This music business is not a game. And some of them are taking for a game, you know. You understand? Yeah.
You've done so much in your musical career, and I think that the impact that you have made to so many other artists, not just within the genre of reggae music, but when we look at hip-hop, dance music, R&B, you know, you have achieved many things that a lot of people dream of only trying to achieve 50% of that. Yeah. Do you feel accomplished in terms of where you are in your musical career right now? and with the launch of the new album?
Yeah, I accomplished a lot out of the music. And how I accomplish it is because of smartness and make the right moves. And the reason why I say it, I phrase it that way there. I don't hear not even half of what some of them artists are like earning at the business. Them no money in the business, big money. You understand? Big money in the business, a man can see man charge all $1 million and get it. So I just more power to the man who can get that and earn that kind of money. More power to a person like that. Yeah, do your thing. I say, but in my time, I never achieve that kind of figure. I say, so the little bit when me get, I put it to the right thing and put it to use in order to preserve my life and my way of life then. My way of life and live it and to deal with my kids them and all them things, you see me? So that is that. Brains, you know?
Yes.
You see, it's not a matter of me earn the kind of figure like what a man, you know, get. When we earn some, if we get a check from overseas, whether it's Europe or the United States, after them deduct whatever taxes out of that, and plus the publisher or anybody else will negotiate the deal, still have to get for them percentage and the rest come to me. You see, but I have a lot of patience. So we get a little there and just continue build on it. Over time, it will come to whatever and then we buy whatever I need. And that's how I think go. You understand? But now, I try to take the thing to a different level, you know. So it's a different phase of the music and I don't even have to record any, like write any song right now if I don't want to. Because I have enough songs what is unreleased to serve me for another lifetime.
Wow.
You understand? But unfortunately, I'm still writing because every day you hear something else spring up. So you have to have enough ammunition and petrol in order to deal with these kind of elements. Whatever, combat certain kind of activity. In case a man try to get funny, you know. You know that sometimes some people make ego and them ego overcloud them judgment. Me nah make my ego overcloud my judgment. I'm very patient, you see? I'm very observant. I may always watch my surroundings in every shape and form. I left myself loose. So true, me know that and me know, so you know, yes upon that. Yeah.
And I guess that's the key to why you're still making positive music right now.
You see, because every minute you have to get back to the drawing board and sometimes you have to go back to basic because here now, a lot of what them I do now is our thing where the style and some of them are thief and a shave round your style, take your style and shave round it and, you know,
call it something different.
Put and call it something different and I go on like them invent it. I know them invent it. See, a lot of that are going on right now. They say, true, we don't say nothing them things we don't know, but we know. So I use my style and other people's style. So I use all dead man style, you know, show the man them gone. So I use it, you know.
Yeah.
So all of them things they say are going on right now in the music. But It made me feel proud still, and you know why? Because when them can go back in our style, it shows that we was doing something good.
Good. Yes.
You see? Because I was just me, you know, you have other people too. Or they will have them style where other people are going at them style. Yeah. You see? And the album, you have other songs like Swamp Thing with them on it. Swamp Thing is a song where you want to hear. That the song there will be a song, you know, take you back to the 90s. We don't want to see nothing from the swamp. We don't want to see nothing from the swamp, girl. If you're ugly, better go back to the swamp. You remember Retreat, Ugly
Yes.
Girl Surrender, something in that. I remember
like
say them song they go #1, you know. All ugly girl buy all Retreat, you know, Ugly Girl Surrender, and I go like she pretty. I love it. And then they remember me there in England, right in London, you know. And I see a girl come by, Ugly Girl Retreat. All right, now me I tell you so that the girl is uglier than the song. And then she come and I buy it. I say, yes, baby, you look so lovely. And why, let me see her, she on like light all. Yeah, power cut, I ever see she run for me life. That me I tell you. But it was great, you know. We see the fan, them and everybody, you know, gravitate to the song, and the song, you know, Swamp Thing, you know. So the girl, oh, your belly looks so big, I know miss a fat city. Girl for independent, all of my girl them for pretty, sexy, and round with this something ticky, me no want a crocodile in my city. Girl for hot, and the body have to cock up. That song there, yeah.
Yeah.
Song that gonna be a song where a woman them gonna like. Because it not really, you know, it a differentiate the two.
The two.
The woman will look good.
Good.
You understand? Yeah, man, like look good girl. I mean, I want nothing to fright me in my sleep. I wake up, I have nightmare, all them something. About that.
Well, look, it's been a real honor today reasoning about the past, the present, and the future. The album Blacklist, that's one that I want everyone that's watching today to go and check it on all the streaming platforms as well.
And the Marcia Griffith song on it.
Back in those days.
Back in those days, perfect song. And yeah, another song named Freedom, which is one of my favorite also.
That's the one with the Ripper Shredder band.
It's on one of them kind of beat, like you remember Destiny?
Yes.
You know? Them Kete kind of beat there, but the funny thing about it, the beat built by a guy named Dynamics from out of Africa. The selector named Dynamics. You know Dynamics?
Dynamic, yep.
Yeah, he's the one who built that beat. And nice song. Nice. So we have African mix up in the thing.
In the thing as well.
Yeah, that's done. So, and then we have Gentle. A song named Gentle is on the album too. You see where the beat built by Richie from Garrison, built by Richard Kerr, and even Swamp Thing beat built by him also.
Okay.
So him have some fingerprint on it in there too. You understand? You see, so it's great. You see, and I guess anything else on it we're involved with too, can, you know. Yeah, we talk about that another time. You know, another interview, and the album is coming, and that album should have out from last year, but circumstances we could never get to move on it. And then we still add to it now, make it even more
tight,
stronger and more tight. So, you know, with songs like Self-Interest,
yes,
that had to it, you know, you understand? So, kindness is gone. It seems like no love no day again. Not even trust no day again. I don't think no more host no day again. All we hear is people problem. When you look around, it's like no respect no day again. You can't even trust no friend again. People rights now get defend again is only self-interest. That is the trend. Oh, you fi tell we clean we house and not clean for your own. It's pure corruption. They up in the zone.
Powerful.
So, powerful lyrics. And everything is true because trust is a main factor right now with people. It's hard to trust anybody. You see? And you don't see a lot of kindness from people these days either. You know? So it's like we lose a lot of the things where we're supposed to live by.
Values.
Yes, values, and you know, some of us don't have no credibility. You see? So the thing just set away, but I guess them are going to do what them are do, and I'm just going to write song off of them.
Exactly. More inspiration. Once again, it's been a pleasure and honour. We give thanks to Garrison, to Richie, and the whole Queer team for allowing us this space as well to hold this reasoning.
Well, Queer always on fire, you know.
Of course.
Yeah, man. We know Queer for quite a while, and you know, when I heard I was doing the interview here, I said, Queer. I said, what you mean? I said, from Miami days, you know, up in Florida. There. And the boss who won Queer. Yeah, we used to link up in another region there with me and this Puerto Rican woman who used to angle my career at the time, you know, but not anymore. You see me, but I mean, you just travel through many different circles. And I think we're going to keep close contact with Queer. Big up, just big up on yourself, man. Yeah. Only for manners and respect in more than 6 million ways. I Cutty Ranks in Dancehall. Boom.
Boom. Cool. Yeah, man, enough respect. Enough respect. Enough respect.
Reggae interviews. Word sound power.